50 years ago, these people from Toyota, they came to visit Ford Motor Company, and when they saw Ford, they said, this is incredible, it's really impressive. So they learn a lot from the assembly line. But in Japan, the market is really small, and people need variety. So they figure, we like the assembly line, but we need something more flexible, easier to manage too. So they went to a supermarket here, and basically what they observed is that, okay, this is smart. People are buying these cookies, and at the end of the day, there's a guy just replenishing what has been bought and filling the shelf again. So everything's on demand. They knew like 50, 60 years ago that on demand would be the way to go. So you don't push things through the system. You just let the customer pull and you replenish. But you need a flexible system for that. This is called the Haijunka board. Okay, this is where the process starts. When we're cutting the aluminum for one trike, the trike is already sold. It has an invoice and a shipping label. Our fabricator is gonna pick this card, attach to a shop walker, and start building a trike. We call this the shop walker because it's just a kitting system that we have all the parts for one trike since the beginning of the process right here. So this is a flow rack that we built here. And this flow rack, you feed the aluminum from the back and you pick from the front like in a supermarket. From this point you can cut and you can clean. This is our tube cleaner, and we remove 100% of the oxidation of the tubing, which is pretty unusual. Our frames, they look polished by the time we're done with them. A lot of companies are gonna find a machine like this. It's like a bender, it's like a big machine. But the changeover or the setup time is like 45 minutes, typically. If the changeover of the machine is pretty long, you have to make batches of parts, right? At Big Cat, we're trying to do one at a time, one piece flow. So now this machine is dedicated just to bend the seat, so there is no changeover, and the quality is higher. So we bend the seat here, and we have smaller machines dedicated to bend the frame and the cross member and the chainstay. And in this company, we have real issues to deal every day. And we came up with solutions that seem to be even simpler than everything that we read about. So this is a good example. This is like the notching line. This is where I put the holes and notch the ends of the tubes. When I started this business, all that I had instead of all this was just this universal notcher. And one part by one, I had to put it, I had to index, I had to lay out by hand and notch. The next part was totally different. So this is a really competitive strategy for us that we have this. So by the time we finish here, all the parts will be bent and now notched on the shop walker. So in our shop walker, what we do, we have pictures of every part and we have the name of every part. So it's really easy to train someone new. This is like a good example of the cross member. So this part we already cut, we clean, we bend it, and we notch it in our notching stations. And this part now is ready to be welded together. And the fit, there is a zero gap on the fit, so that means we have a quality product. The cool thing about the one-piece flow now is that the welder, even though we don't have a production schedule, the welder knows what trike needs to be welded, which is the next trike in line. If this is the next shop walker, the welder just have to pick this shop walker and pick the dedicated welding jig that we have, like this one. This is the Expedition welding jig, and basically all the parts that were in the shop walker here, they're gonna fit into this jig, and it'll be super accurate, and you make a perfect frame out of it. This jig, you can rotate and you can weld anyway. And as you remember, my first jig was made out of wood. In this company, we managed to have 3 welding stations and spread out all the work content between 3 welders, and that's why we're building more of these jigs. Then you can start welding and move it downstream and continue welding, so then we can keep the pace of the line. At the end of the day, after they have been prepped, they go inside the oven, and they're gonna spend the whole night in the oven being artificially aged. Well, this is the next day. The frames are out of the oven, and basically the frames are ready to be powder coated. The fan is gonna pull the powder through the frame, and the frame is grounded. So this is gonna wrap the frame like a magnet. We get the frames into the oven and we bake them for around 25 minutes. That's gonna make a gel out of the powder and it's gonna cure it. And the result of that, now with the flexible line that you're looking with the shop walkers, with the dedicated tools, is that we can make any of our 7 models in any of our 15 colors, meaning that 105 product model color combinations, we can make them in the same lead time. Even though we're a small company, we have 4 patents already, and this is one of them. It's called the Peace Boom, and this boom we designed with stiffening members inside and with an indexing groove on top, so as you adjust the boom in or out for different leg lengths, it's always straight. Besides, with the stiffening members, we can make a boom that is lighter with a thinner wall and that is stronger than anything out there, and that's really good when you ride it because it eliminates pedal steer. As you pedal the trike will go straight. One dealer actually told us that we have more engineering in our boom than our competitors have on their whole trikes, so we're really proud of that. So this is the result. This is our frame. This is what we're good at, to make this frame. It's made out of aluminum and it weighs 6 or 7 pounds. This is like one of our biggest frames, the Expedition, and it's really lightweight. And the beautiful thing about this design is that it looks really simple and clean, but it's a really complex design. When I decided to design this frame, I wanted to get rid of all the bolts and nuts from my previous models. And so basically by having a lot of the tubes being bent like this and 3-dimensionally indexed, everything just falls in place. It's really organic and it doesn't weigh anything. So ride on a Catrike is like riding on a flying carpet, flying low on a flying carpet. It's stable and it feels really good.
It takes a lot of creativity to do what he's done. You know, he's managed to make an awesome product, you know, and keep your employees just happy where they work, and at the same time make it, you know, really efficient to do. You know, and the most important thing, he's keeping everyone, you know, with jobs. You know, we're thriving. Like you said, we're thriving more than we've ever have. You know, it's, like I said, I'm really happy that, you know, Paulo's the guy that's here. You know, because if you put another person, I think, in that same spot, I don't know, you know. So you got to have the same heart and the same leadership and creativity to do what he's done.